Welcome everybody to the BM show. Laugh out loud, it's the place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From pixel legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
And welcome to another episode of the BM show. The BM show.
Get right back. It's the place to be where geeky minds eat so naturally.
I think it's a place to be. It's where the cops bust annually. Because, I don't know, we're good people, I guess. The cops don't bust us that often. But when they do, okay, I gotta say something here. I don't know if you saw the comment on the last video.
But the AI thing?
AI Slop.
Now, I saw that, and I'm like, okay, I have to go over how I do this now. Okay. I have I just signed up for Adobe Premium for they have a podcast thing where you could actually just send it in and it cleans it up. So if it sounds a little robotic, it's because it's probably too strong, or I probably should scale that back a little bit. But how do we sound like AI?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now to the dude who left that comment. I want to make something clear about if we're AI or if we're not AI. We are not AI, you stupid bot.
You know what's funny? I literally had the same idea about doing this bit too, of bringing this up, because I was looking at that and I'm like, to prove that we're not AI, this is happening on Super Bowl Sunday, and I just want to tell you that in the game between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs, it was amazing to see that the Philadelphia Eagles won the game. Okay?
Yeah, I'm amazed that they've won the game. Haven't they been having a really good running game recently?
What was that?
Haven't they been having a really good running game recently?
I have no idea. This is like the only game I've watched all year.
Here, I'm trying to go on an AI style here because they talk like that.
Yeah, I know. They'll bring up stuff like, and some of the stuff isn't even true. It's like, oh yeah, it was amazing watching that game with the Eagles when Patrick Mahomes went and threw that touchdown pass.
Dude, all right. So did you read that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 thing I sent you?
No. When did you?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I said it. What happened was I was looking for, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, streaming it, and I came across a website that's total AI stuff. And I want to take a few minutes to read this. Probably more than a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
But to help you with the guessing and where to find it, if it's available to stream without having to pay to rent it, it's going to be on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to see what the prices were and everything just to stream it. Okay.
Just wait till it's on Paramount Plus and just get Paramount Plus for like a month.
I'm good. I'll pass on that. But I came to the website. I knew it was going to be sketchy when I saw the title, because it's like, watch Sonic the Hedgehog streaming here, free show or whatever. So I had to check it out. So I went down the page and I was reading this, and I took screenshots of it. So I have them, and I want to read these to you to get you excited about watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This is what the site says. Where to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a comprehensive guide to streaming and more. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a heartwarming Tamil come-of-age romantic comedy drama, has garnered critical acclaim and captured the hearts of audiences. If you're wondering where to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3, this guide will provide all the information you need about its OTT availability, theatrical one, and more. Okay, is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 released on OTT? The situation with Sonic the Hedgehog 3's OTT release is a bit complex. While the film's digital streaming rights were acquired by Amazon Prime Video, it was initially available on the platform from March 10th, 2023. The Tamil version was subsequently removed. Only the Hindi dub version remains available on Amazon Prime Video. The producer has stated in their intention to withhold the Tamil version from OTT platforms. This usual circumstance means that currently streaming options for the Tamil version are limited. Okay, so let me go to the next thing. Is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie based on a true story? Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is loosely based on incidents from the life of a friend of the director, Giddish K. Babu. While the story draws inspiration from real life events, it is fictionalized for cinematic purposes.
Bro, I'm gonna just stop you right there and tell you that whatever you're talking to, whatever Chat GPT or whatever it is confusing Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for some Hindi movie.
It's good. No, it gets better. Hold on. What is the movie Sonic the Hedgehog 3 about? Sonic the Hedgehog 3 tells the story of Mandicam, a young college student whose life takes an unexpected turn when his girlfriend, Sindhu, becomes pregnant. The film follows Mandy's journey as he navigates the challenges of unplanned parenthood, from the initial shock and irresponsibility to the eventual embrace of his role as a single father. Years later, a chance encounter brings Mandy and Sindhu face to face again, leading to the revelations and a heartwarming reunion.
This sounds like the worst Sonic the Hedgehog movie ever.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 exploring the nuances of unplanned parenthood and second chances. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 delves into the complexities of unplanned parenthood, highlighting the emotional roller coaster that young parents experience. The film portrays Mandy's initial reluctance and subsequent transformation into a caring and devoted father. It also explores the theme of second chances, offering a message of hope and reconciliation. Let's see what else we have here. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and its exploration of societal expectations. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 subtly touches on the societal expectations surrounding relationships and parenthood. The film challenges traditional gender roles and emphasizes the importance of shared responsibility.
Okay, Mike, where are you getting all this again from?
I don't know, he's just on some random site.
So somebody went and they just probably some cheap ass, probably that Chinese ripoff of Chat GPT, and asked them about it, and they went and said, "Oh, you must mean this movie from Bollywood."
Yep.
Oh, listen, I can tell you about it.
I want to see who Sonic hooks up with and has a kid with.
Yeah, I can't wait till it's on Paramount Plus so I can see Sonic as a single father.
Yeah, so I mean, does this mean that the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie also has Amy?
Well, yeah. Who else had the kid?
I mean, it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Maybe she's playing the role as Cindy. You know what it is? Remember in Mario 3, where Mario 3 is supposed to be a play? Well, this is Sonic 3. So the cast of Sonic 3 are presenting a play.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a movie of them doing the play. So it's going to be like Noises Off.
And maybe Shadow is actually Shadow government, and they're coming after him to garnish his wages for child support.
Oh my God. So this is somebody who literally set up a website where he just went and had some cheap Chat GPT ripoff make his articles for him.
To click a link that you know is going to be shady, is that watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3 here.
Okay, so all the other Sonic properties are on Paramount Plus. So the chances that this is also going to be on Paramount Plus is very, very likely.
I don't know, Doc. I kind of want to see the Hindi version now.
As much as I would love to see the struggles of a single father in a land where I have never been to nor ever plan to go.
I mean, just think about how good baby is about to make an accident. Gotta go fast. I mean, this would be perfect.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Amy drops the baby off the second balcony. Sonic races down and catches him, saves the day. I mean, we could do this. This could be possible.
He's such a deadbeat dad. Sonic the Hedgehog.
So yeah, but you know what? I actually I'm going to change the subject for a second because I did bring up shadow government or whatever. So I was watching something while the Super Bowl is going on.
Did you watch the Super Bowl at all?
No.
Okay, had an impromptu Super Bowl party. So okay, so you probably won't hear this. There's a girl, a woman at the church.
Wait, hold on. Jump in for a second. You're going to an impromptu Super Bowl party because right now the Super Bowl hasn't happened because this was aired prior to the Super Bowl. Just to let you all know, the Eagles won, so you might want to place bets right now.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So go on. So about this impromptu Super Bowl party.
Yeah, so like I messaged her last night and I'm like, what are you doing for the Super Bowl? And she's like, are you guys doing anything at the church? And I'm like, no, I was trying, I pushed the idea around, but nobody was biting, so I just let it go. And I'm like, so what are you up to? And she's like, oh, well, I was really hoping to do something. And I'm like, well, if you don't have a place where we can do it, and I don't have a place where we can do it, we can I could open the church up, thinking it was just gonna be me and her. And she's like, oh, cool, I'll let some people know. And all of a sudden, we're having a party.
Ben, I want you to go back and listen to that sentence that you stated. If you don't have a place where we can do it, and I don't have a place where we can do it, let's go open the church and do it there. That just sounded like so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, that was. I think we think of Wong. That was Wong on so many levels.
I mean, that's where the English language is so crazy. Like that's one of those you actually have to specify the action you're talking about, because if you leave it at that, it just, or the natural thought is not a good one.
I just want to let people know we get so few comments. The chances of me looking at your account are very, very high.
Yes, we are stalkers. We just want to point that out.
With your gaming, with your fail attempt at a gaming channel.
We are stalkers, and because we're AI stalkers,
dude, you did 7 weeks. You did 7 videos of you gaming. You got to do more than that if you're going to pick up an audience. I'm just letting. Also, if you're going to do gaming, you might as well do it on Twitch and do it live.
There we go.
But so those are my, the show. I'm not AI. Here's some good practical tips for your gaming channel that you gave up on 7 years ago. Okay.
So I wanted to mention something though about the Super Bowl. Like, and I was watching just like some random conspiracy theory news type of thing, while the Super Bowl is going on, and they played a video of this lady who's all, "Would you look at this? I looked through Google search, whatever, and they always hide it right in front of you in plain sight. By score announced prior to the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win 38-35.
I was looking up the time for the start of the game yesterday, and Google, before showing me what time the game is going to start, told me the probabilities of the Chiefs winning the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not looking for the betting odds. I want to know the effing time. And then I'm asking Siri, and Siri now ties into my chat GPT, so she's even smarter, and I'm expecting real answers now. And I go and I say, hey, blah, 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 because I don't want to activate it. What time is the kickoff? Not what time does the coverage start, not what time does the game supposed to start. When is the kickoff? I got the entire rundown of the teams playing, where they're playing, the weather, almost the history of how this game came together, and what time the coverage starts at 6:30. And I'm like, I know it starts at 6:30, but that doesn't mean that the ball is getting kicked at 6:30. Like, so when is the guy's foot hitting the football?
Yeah. If it was like AI, really, it'd be like, hey, such and such, what time is the kickoff? Well, actually, in the third game of the first part of the season, Johnson was kicked off the team for his illicit drug use. And then that caused a domino effect, which actually had Smithers and Handyman leave the team as well. Oh, really? Hold on. That's fascinating. It's like a smorgasbord of kicks off the team. Well, yeah, if you now you speak about smorgasbords, I remember going to this really nice Tepon restaurant the other day. Oh, really? You don't say? Yeah, it was fascinating. That's what AI is like, dude.
AI is like, hey, who's playing in the Super Bowl? Well, the Super Bowl is a romantic comedy about a single father
who needs to care for the ball. Unfortunately, he has societal constructs that prevent him from doing so. I mean, come on.
First Super Bowl ever.
You don't have the personality to that the big, warm, happy personality to be AI. That's the facts right there.
It was like the worst Super Bowl ever. The only scoring that happened obviously before the game because he has a kid already. All right.
Exactly.
The only scoring that
It started with the delivery of the kid. Yeah, actually, it started with the adoption, kicking off the kid to another person.
Oh man. Let's do a real hard transition here. Mike, I like saving money on games. Don't you?
It's funny. It's funny because I tend to get overwhelmed with people coming up to me a lot, and they ask me some crazy questions.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely crazy questions. And
Is this for real or are you just making this up?
this is absolutely for real. And
Oh, okay, cool. All right, go.
the questions that they ask me are, what genre do you like? Who do you want to play? And I returned them, let me help you save them, what you've got to pay.
And here we are.
And here we are. Once I can actually start sharing the right screen, we will start talking about this place first. Epic Games. What is Epic Games doing this week? We kind of talked about it before, but we're going to talk about it again. So free on Epic Games until Thursday.
Is Spider-Man 2 going to be free?
I don't know. Not yet. Right now we have Beyond Blue for free, which is, if you ever watched Free Willy and you wanted to get the movie from Willy's perspective, you're going to want to pick this up. Save yourself the $20. You get a chance to get totally lost in the moment, and it gives you the oceans and everything in them. I don't know where I got those sayings, but you'll probably figure it out when you watch the video. So that's available to you. Also, Epic Games kind of threw us a little sneaky one in here and also gave us Humankind for free, which they didn't announce. So it's kind of like a little surprise there, which is actually a $50 game I just noticed. And this looks like to be some sort of a world creation simulation thing. So you can do whatever you want. You can create the world however you want it to be.
It's a God simulator.
Yes, thank you, a God simulator. Technically, if I was doing it, I would probably just create all the cows cooked already in between two hamburger buns out on the fields, and that will make life happy for me. So, but you can pick this up if you want to, if you like creating things.
This looks interesting.
There you go. And you know what, Ben, you mentioned something to me. You mentioned that you did get a whole bunch of games for free. How did that go for you?
It was really, you know what? Because I was editing the video for this, and I'm like, while I'm editing the video, I should probably go and grab a whole bunch of these. And I just went to Prime, and it was just like claim game, claim game, claim game, claim game. Even on Epic, it's really just easy to get these games, and they're free. And even if you never play it, you didn't buy it, you don't pay anything for it. But if you do play it, great. Some of these games, some of these free games I've gotten are really good. So it's and some of them they're free for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on here. So that's everything free for Epic. For next week, they're giving you F1 Manager 2024, which is a $35 game if you ever wanted to manage the F1s because you really suck at driving them.
Scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
To the right up. Lead your team to glory in the F1 Manager 2024. A new Formula One season has arrived, packed with 24 races, new cars, new principles, and all. What is like? You just tell them like, okay, guys, put lighter tires on.
Yeah,
Help us tricks out.
Exactly. You decide, and they do the work for you. But
is it like a business simulator where you also got to like figure out finances and shit too?
I don't know. But some people are into this. So hopefully someone will find this video that says, you know what, I've been considering F1 Manager. Now I know I just got to wait until Thursday of next week, and then I can get it for free.
There's a long running
Thursday of this week. I'm sorry, Thursday of this week.
Yeah, this is okay with Thursday. There's a long running series. It's a soccer manager, but it's from England, so they call it a football manager game. And then with that, it's the same idea, except you're running a soccer team. And I'm like, there I can kind of see if you're managing a team
Yeah.
versus what are you gonna do? Like tell the pit crew, hey, Johnson, you do the left tire, and Smith, you do the right tire. I mean, what the hell? What
You might
are you
have to
planning to? What are you doing?
I'm thinking you might have to monitor like the condition of the car and make split-second decisions on changes. Like instead of using these type of tires, use these other ones. Or, if there's some sort of, I don't know, issue with the car itself, how you're going to manage.
It's like if they did a horse racing game and you were the owner of the horse.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck would want to play that? Know who the audience is for this. I don't get it, but I guess there's...
It's free on Thursday. Go get it. Let us know what you think.
All right.
All right. So also coming free on Thursday, if you're an Apex Legends player, you can get the Loba free unlock bundle. I'm guessing Loba's a person. But if you've been waiting on getting Loba, well, she's coming to you. So you can go ahead and pick her up if you want. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Apex Legends other than it's something that people play. And that's about it.
Yeah, I think they're one of those companies where one day if we play our cards right, they might become a sponsor.
Okay, so Apex Legends, you guys are great. Releasing Loba just changed my life. Best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, Lobo's great. Let's go, Lobo.
Now, going to Prime Games, we got something interesting happened. And I think when I tell you what's come to Prime Games, you're going to be just in shock. If you've been following the
Prime Gaming's...
if you've been following the Amazon Prime release bio, then you're going to know that with this big release that's happened, the whole series has been available, giving you infinite joy playing it. So let's go through what's on Prime Gaming. First thing on Prime Gaming that's available is the Talons Principle Gold Edition, where it looks like you play a robot that stabs a cat.
You're not repetting it.
It
looks very uncomfortable, though.
Go down to it. It says it's a puzzle adventure indie. It looks a lot like Portal to me, or iRobot or something. I'm kind of scared.
It's like Portal and iRobot happen in the same universe.
With a cat being stabbed by metal fingers. So
what the hell of a cover.
It is. So, I mean, some people are really big on crazy looking style games. Maybe Talos Principle is the one you want to give a go. Also on Prime Gaming is Axolotl Together. Axolotl Together, which is a top-down shooter that I actually picked this one up and I've been having fun with it. I just don't know how to say it. So this game's available. I highly recommend it. If you're into top-down shooters, or I guess maybe like the vampires. There's a Vampire Survivor, but you actually like to pull the trigger rather than have the trigger pulled for you when you play. This might be something that might be to your fancy. Also, another thing came out is Sands of Aura, which is the third-person RPG open world, I believe. Cool style game. So if you want something that's a little more open and you want to do some hacking and slashing from overhead, or want to go in your sand cruiser through the world, this might be something you want to look for, Sands of Aura. They also have, if you're not into action games, you're kind of into sports, and maybe you're kind of PO'd that's the winter time right now, Surf World Series. Dude, like
California games, bro.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. So yeah, you can go surfing in the wintertime for free, thanks to Amazon Games. So if you're looking for a sports game, and if you like surfing, you miss it, go for it. Now, the big one that I kind of already gave away.
If you miss out on the fact that you can't play California games or Surf or Die or Did they ever do a Surfer Die? It is
So they either do Surf or Die. They had Ski or Die and Skater
okay,
Die.
Skater Die or Skier Die. Yeah, if you missed those games, you could play it once again. Because I can't think of any other time where there were
GMC Surf Designs.
TNT surfing design, but they're all 8-bit. There was never a 16-bit surfing game. I mean, they did California games on the Genesis, I guess, but it's still like past that, like no one's ever redid a surfing game. So that's kind of interesting that they're trying that again.
Yeah.
It's been 40 years. Time to try it again.
Now here's the big one that I've already given away if you paid close attention to.
Yep. There it is.
And that would be BioShock Infinite is now available on Amazon Prime for free.
I knew a guy. Okay, so when I worked at GameStop, the guy who literally got me the job at GameStop was not a gamer. It was one of the reasons they hired him. He was not a gamer.
Yeah.
But because he was a manager, all the managers at GameStop used to get like, they would go to these conferences and they would get all like, here you go, guys. Here's an Xbox or whatever, or here's a PlayStation. So he had all the systems, and they would get free games all the time, all the managers, and he ended up falling in love with BioShock. And it was the only my grandfather was the same way, where like these are people who don't play games, but they find one game and they just become like obsessed with that one game, and they beat the living crap out of it.
So your grandfather loved BioShock?
No, my grandfather liked Myst.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he played Myst to death. It's the only video game he ever played.
Which is Myst and BioShock are pretty similar. They're both played with either a controller or a keyboard. So
yeah,
so they're close enough. But if you've been paying attention, like I was saying, if you've been paying attention to Amazon, in the last 4 months, you will now have the complete BioShock collection through Amazon Prime Gaming for free, which I do want to point out now that BioShock Infinite is there. BioShock 2 is still on Prime Gaming till April 9th. So if you didn't get any of the series and you decide it's time to do it, you can get 2 and 3 for free, and then probably find BioShock 1 for cheap somewhere.
And if you missed it out, these guys, these go free a lot. I have BioShocks 1 and 2 and the remastered versions all for free. I picked up at some point from Prime Gaming.
Right.
And there's I see it's not up on your list here, but there was a bundle that neither one of us can find anymore that they were doing on Steam. It must have expired, where they were doing a publisher sale for these guys, where the only games I really would want on there were the BioShock games, and I already had them. But it was a good deal. It was like 26 games for $20, which if you like that publisher is a deal. But
all right, so now we're going to get into stuff that you kind of have to pay for. And we're going to start with Fanatical. Fanatical has a Build Your Own Platinum Collection February 25 bundle, which is 3 games for $10, 3 games for $9.99. So you can dig through these, see if you can find 3 games that you like in here.
There's a quad pack, so you can literally get one of them could be this 55 rupees. What is the
option 52?
What is this? Oh, retail price. That's what that RRP stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah, $55. So they have a quad pack you could pick up. That'd be part of this.
So yeah, so if you see anything in here, go for it. $10. Even if you just want this quad pack, you just pick up a couple other games in the meantime and save yourself some money that way. For Humble Bundle is putting out, first off, the Better with a Friend co-op adventures, which is a bundle that if you pay, I believe it's just $10, or pay, I believe $10, you can get all 6 of these games for free, or not for free, for $10. Sorry. I believe it's 10. Let me see if you can go down to 10 and get, yeah, $10, you get all 6. You go down to $7, you'll get just these 3. Not too bad of a deal. Now I can tell you that I have Cat Quest 2, and the Cat Quest series is just freaking lit. So even for $10, I'd recommend picking it up. I don't know how much Cat Quest 2 actually goes for, but it does go towards the Michael J. Fox Foundation. And then if you're a Destiny player, you'll probably want to take a look at this. For $30, Destiny 2, I believe you're getting like all the expansions, which they're saying is normally $294. You get it for $30.
Wow.
So if you're into Destiny 2, you haven't got expansions, you might as well pick this up for $30 and start going crazy on the game. Humble Bundle does have some other bundles. I'm not going to, besides Destiny, they have some other things that Ben might be interested in here. I don't.
Dude, I don't want to buy books.
So, and that is it for what there is to get this week. So I hope that saves you guys some money.
Yeah, there's some good deals there. The Amazon gaming one is like the best. Because who doesn't have an Amazon Prime account anymore?
Well, and I like the Epic one as well, because the Epic one's going to tell you, hey, look what's coming up, so that you know if you're, if it's something that you want, you can set your clock or anything so that you remember to definitely go up and pick it up. Whereas Prime Gaming, you have to check like each week.
And yeah, but like at least with the Prime gaming, also like everything thing that comes out, it's good for a month.
Yeah, that's true.
Or sometimes they're good forever. I've seen some games there's like they've always been free. They're just there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are AAA titles that are just mad old. That's like the only thing. Like you're not going to get a game that came out this year or last year, but
Yeah.
if you're willing to wait 10 years to play BioShock, here you go.
Well, how old is Infinite?
I don't know. Hey Siri, when did BioShock Infinite come out? 2013.
Published.
Okay, so that one is
Thank
over 10.
Thank you.
I know I've seen stuff in there that's like that's 2020 or 21 or so, but I mean those are probably you're looking more at the indie games.
Yeah. I'm talking about like, if you want like a AAA hardcore title, like BioShock was on everything.
Yeah.
That was on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. They probably was a Mac version. That was a huge title. So
Now I don't know if this is was Amazon Prime or just Epic, but Control, I picked up Control. That's a 2019 game. I got that one free. That that might have just been Epic Games and not Amazon.
I mean, Epic Games, they started it off. I think they started off the free game program with Grand Theft Auto 5, which at the, that they're still selling that.
Yeah.
That's like one of the highest grossing games ever. That's another one that's been out since like 2013 or something. That game's been out for a long time. They've milked the shit out of that cow, man. They've made so much money off of Grand Theft Auto 5. They're like, why didn't Grand Theft Auto 6 come out? Because 5's still making a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And it's because there's a subscription service now, and you could do the online thing, and then it becomes pay to play, and people pay to play.
Well, from what I know is you can pretty much do anything in that game. You could get to the point where you just sit on the couch and listen to the TV.
Yeah, no, and that's something I would do in the game is I would go on the online game and just literally sit in my virtual apartment and watch other people do havoc on TV. As they have their version of Fox News that covers whoever's getting chased by a cop right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you can just sit there and just watch high-speed chases or people robbing a bank or whatever the hell is going on. And they have like the helicopter view. They do it like it's a newscast. They don't have somebody talking because they're not that sophisticated with it. But
well, they could now with AI,
yeah, but the game came out before AI did. Now Grand Theft Auto 6, that's supposed to be coming out, I think, next year. If they do the same feature, then they probably will incorporate some kind of AI where they can like, then we can see the looks like they're leading the cops on a high-speed chase. Look, they just avoided some traffic over there. This is very dangerous. I was watching a high-speed chase in Los Angeles that happened like a couple weeks ago. It was fascinating. And then that's how they were talking. It was like, well, you can see like they're in a group now, and a whole group of them together now, where we only started with those original two bikers, these two two kids on a bike, but they called their friends, and all of a sudden there's like 13 of them. Yeah, it was fun.
So Rockstar Games, if you're listening, and you need some help with AI for GTA 6 to do that, just to let you guys know, we are AI, and we will happily do it for you.
I have a guy, I know a buddy of mine who actually works in AI, and he's like super duper smart in AI. Like he knows, like he can break the rules. AI has certain stuff that it's not allowed to talk about, and he knows how to make it talk about the stuff it's not supposed to talk about.
Gotcha. Okay.
That type of shit. So he's a white hat.
Okay.
So he's a hacker. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're ready to transition the topic. What do you think?
I think we're ready. Are we doing the Japanese movie first, or are we
Nope.
going?
We're doing first off, it's time for same, different. And this is going to be an interesting one because we're going to start off with one that we're actually doing that same, different. Then we're going to go to one that we is same, different, but we didn't do. I don't know if I want to say the original, but the one that it's similar to.
Yeah, yeah. So do you want to start with the original movie or the remake?
I want to start with the original movie.
Good. That's how I would start it too, because I'd rather start with the good stuff and then go into what I'm going to rip apart.
Yeah. Just remember, this was your choice. You introduce it, and then because it's your choice, I get to go first. The next one, or the other movie we're doing, was my choice. You'll still get to introduce it because you're good at that. You got the smooth voice for it, and then you get to start because it's my choice.
Okay. So this week we're doing Sabrina. The first movie, Sabrina, is a 1954 romantic comedy starring Audrey Hepburn, Humphrey Bogart, and William Holden. Sabrina Fairchild is a shy, awkward daughter of the chauffeur of the wealthy Larrabee family. She has always been in love with the charming playboy younger son, David. After spending time in Paris and transforming into a sophisticated woman, she returns and captures David's attention. However, Linus, the practical older brother, schemes to keep Sabrina away from David for business reasons, but ends up falling in love with her himself. It is one of my favorite movies. Mike, go right ahead.
I would like to pass now to Ben because I definitely want to solidify my ability to start on the remake, even though I probably would have anyway. I just want to pass it over to you to go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so this one here, this is my favorite Audrey Hepburn movie. Audrey Hepburn might actually be my favorite actress of all time. I adore her. I think she's beautiful. She's charming. She's very good with her expressions, and she's believable in the part, especially in this movie. She really hits it out of the park, I think, in this film. Let me talk about, and this is going to lead into what I'm going to talk about with the next movie. Why does she go to Paris? This was done purposely because she is from Belgium and she has a strong French accent. And to cover it, they have it where her character goes to France so that they can explain why she has a French accent. This is actually something that you see in a lot of Audrey Hepburn movies where they have to explain her accent away. They do it in Breakfast at Tiffany's because she's batshit crazy.
Yes.
So of course she's going to talk with an accent because she's nuts. Here, it's
I thank you for realizing
that in France. What's that?
I thank you for realizing that now.
Oh yeah, it makes after rewatching it and listening to your review of it, I completely get the movie now. I've never seen it that way before, and now I cannot unsee that movie from that way.
Wait till you see what I say about this one.
Oh, so okay, let's see here. It's funny. There's a lot of stuff that's played for laughs. This movie, it stars Audrey. Humphrey Bogart is a supporting actor. I bring that up because in the next movie that kind of goes the other way around. The character of David, he's funny, but he's a bit of a dick. Linus is my favorite character. He's absolutely great. This is the second best Humphrey Bogart movie. The best one's always going to be Casablanca. Oh, so they're at the party. So she goes to France and she comes back from France and she gets invited to a party that they're having at the Larrabee house. And she's talking to the mother, and the mother's like, "Oh, Sabrina, I can't believe it's you. You look so grown up. You really should cook for us sometime." And I'm like, what a jab. That is such a backhanded compliment. You went to cooking school. You really should cook for us sometime. You're a servant. Why aren't you cooking right now? This whole thing of, and that's what the movie really studies, is this whole thing of the separation between help and the rich people. And where is the line? And could you date somebody who works on your staff? And it's the movie. So like, okay, so David being the playboy, he ends up falling in love with her because she comes back and she went from being this shy little girl to being like being the hottest chick on the planet type of thing. And she comes in, she's a man killer now. She comes in and he's in love with her, and there's a whole wrench in this plan because he's supposed to marry this girl that's supposed to merge the families together, the Larrabees and this other family, where they can get some plastic thing off the ground. And that's what's throwing a wrench in the plan. So Humphrey Bogart's character pretends that he likes her and ends up falling for her because she's an amazing character, and she ends up falling for him. And it's a love story, and it's all this stuff that happens, and it's a really good movie. And what another problem I had with the movie, though, I do have these movie problems. It has to do with mostly with the rich people in it. Let's see here. He had them open the plant so they can make a special plastic hammock for his brother.
Mm-hmm.
How many people does it take to run the plant? It's a Sunday. It's their day off. Did you just call the plant manager and say, have the whole team come in so that my baby brother can have a new seat?
That's how business runs.
It's ridiculous. I'm hearing this and I'm like, what a jerk. I
Like-
like the character, but I would never call in my entire group of employees to have a favor done for me.
When you're really that involved in business, like if you take someone like Trump, he's most likely gonna call Sunday and say, hey, we got this idea, let's roll with this, let's get everybody involved. It's a Sunday, but let's get everybody involved right now. This is hot, this is ready to pop, we got to do it.
I guess, but I kind of felt like that was like, he's supposed to be coming off with a great character. I mean, after the mom ordering the girl to go cook for her, I didn't order her, but she was saying like, you should work for me. You should be working right now. To open the plant so you can go and have this hammock made. Well, anyways, like I said, these are just nitpicks on the characters and themselves, but it also shows that these are good characters. This is not a hit on the movie. These are just showing that some of these characters, they do have bad parts of them. Also, the line is all in the family.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up with the wine glasses because David was supposed to meet her, but he, was indisposed. And all of a sudden, Linus comes up and he just like, well, I bet you were hoping to kiss him right now. And as he kisses her, and he's like, it's all in the family.
Yeah, that's not creepy.
I know, but the thing is, like, is she falling for him though, or what? What's going on? And it's the whole time you're seeing them fall for each other, but you're like, who fell for who first?
The thing is, I read a factual thing about this, and the previous line was not "it's all in the family." It was "brothers that care share."
Nothing says loving like kissing your cousin. All right, that's what I have for my notes. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on Sabrina, the negative version?
First thing I want to start with is stalker. I mean, this woman is a serious stalker, but
she's a girl. She's 17, 18 years old in the beginning of the movie. She's 20 when she comes back from France.
She's a freaking stalker, senor. Okay, but I want to say that this movie is not bad. I think it's okay. I think it was worth sitting through. I'm going to watch this before I watch Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm going to watch this 1,000 times over before I watch Breakfast at Tiffany's. I don't really want to watch it 1,000 times over, but I would over the other one.
Yeah.
But I want to bring this movie to somebody who would be born in like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, without talking about the remake. I just want to make that clear. I want to bring this style to you and have you envision what it is. Okay? So, the movie is about this. Getting sick of hacking the planet, a young girl named Acid Burn, who is the daughter of the servant side, is sent off to Paris. Well, actually, maybe I should start. Has fallen in love and stalks a non-criminal version of Frank Abigail Jr. She is then sent off to Paris, where she meets Kris Kringle.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the old.
Teaches her how to basically be a lady, we guess. She comes back, and now Frank Abigail Jr. is paying attention to her, and her father, John Cleese, is not happy. She then is invited to a party and starts making moves on Frank Abigail Jr., who has just been engaged, and his father, Scrooge McDuck, notices and isn't happy about it either. So his brother, Jake Fratelli, steps in and sabotages the relationship.
Yep.
That's bringing it to a more common time for those that grew up in our era to kind of picture what these characters kind of look like and act. I think that, and I don't want to get into too much really on this, because I think, okay, I'm just going to say this right now. Everything this one does good, the remake doesn't. Everything the remake does good, this one doesn't. I think one of the biggest problems with this movie is Humphrey Bogart. And yes, I cannot take this guy seriously in this romantic role. I can't see.
He's 100 years old and she's 20.
Well, not that, because I mean, you could get that happening in the Philippines, and it doesn't match. The thing is, he just the way he carries his character. It just I can't believe him to be romantic. Period. Which is fine for the beginning part, but when you get to the end, it makes the whole movie suffer because of it. Because this character
like that, though.
Was that?
What if he's just always that kind of awkward person? He's not like he's not really romantic. He's just
the thing is, it still doesn't feel realistic, and that's the problem. Even if he wasn't this romantic character, the two of them never feel like they connect on the screen and make it a believable relationship.
Well, here's the thing: is like this is her second movie. And this is like one of his last movies. So he's like, he's a star on his way out and she's a star on her way up.
Yeah.
When this movie happens. So I could see why this was like, I could see the dollar signs and the guys producing this.
Oh yeah.
Because like, she's already won an Emmy Award, or she won an Academy Award for her first movie, which is Roman Holiday. So you have 2 Academy Award actors, 3. I think William Holden might have been one as well, but I don't know much about William Holden, so I'm probably wrong on that. But Humphrey Bogart, I know at least he's won an award, at least one. She's won at least one award at this time. So putting them together makes sense. But there's also the fact that he is like I said, he's on one of his last movies and she's on one of her first movies.
It's so much that it's missing something that high schools have. That's chemistry.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Class. Yes.
that to me is a problem. They just, the two of them don't act good together. It doesn't feel like
You know what's funny is that William Holden, who plays David Larrabee, was one of her husbands.
Okay.
And I because she was married multiple times. I think she was married like 3 or 4 times. But
It's all in the family.
It's all in the family.
So, but I mean, I don't want to say any more because I'm waiting till we get to the remake to say the big thing.
Yeah. There's some stuff I'm holding for the remake as well. Do you want to jump into that?
I'm pretty much done on this one. Other than I'd recommend still seeing it because it's a decent movie. I don't recommend putting off Sonic the Hedgehog and learning about Planned Parenthood over this.
I recommend the 1954 version of Sabrina. If you are interested in Audrey Hepburn and her career at all, and you want to see this movie, from what I know about the woman, this movie is the most you'll ever see of her being her.
Gotcha.
Like, this is if you met the woman in person, it would be a lot like the Sabrina character in a way. It's not as stalky, but just like
she's a stalker.
She seems to be a stalker in all these movies. We'll have to. Now you're gonna get me to want to do more of these movies and see if she's a stalker in every one of them.
You know what they should have had for the opening song if they would have Marty McFly'd it?
But
Every breath you take.
I'll be in a tree.
Watch each floor.
Party.
I mean, that's a total George McFly move right there.
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's do the remake. Let's go.
Okay. Sabrina 1995. Sabrina is a romantic comedy starring Julia Ormond. Oh my God, that was actually a pretty hard name to say. Harrison Ford and Greg Kinnear. It's the same basic story. Sabrina is the daughter of the Larrabee family chauffeur and has been infatuated with David for years. After a life-changing stay in Paris, she returns refined and sophisticated, attracting David's interest. Linus, who initially tries to manipulate her for business reasons, gradually falls in love with her instead. Do you want to go?
Yes. Let me sum this
story
up.
I'm like, rip this one apart.
Woke crap. Crap. Redemption, crap. Okay, now let me break that down. So first off, the first thing I noticed is they killed off the father. They killed off the father so that it's just the mother, and she's a single mother with a whole bunch of money. Then, instead of sending her to Paris to be a cook, to learn how to cook, to be a good, whatever, wife in the future, they sent her off, and she just wanted to go. She's like, I want to see Paris. I'm going to go on a servant's salary. But into photography, which has no point in this movie. There's they had to work it and force it in at a later point to make it relevant.
Photographers, I know. I mean, granted, it's a lot easier to do nowadays than it was back then, but holy shit. Like, that's like trying to find somebody who knows how to play guitar.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's a dime a dozen. Go ahead.
So,
go on.
And she comes back this supermodel, which doesn't make any sense being a photographer. If she would have gone there and on one of the shoots, the guy said, "Oh, you know what? Why don't you try getting in the picture?" Then that would make more sense. And all of a sudden she's a model, but it doesn't make any sense how she comes back all glamorous after just being a photographer's girlfriend. Everything else after that is so inferior to the initial version. And if we're talking about chemistry lacking in the first movie between Humphrey Bogart and Audrey Hepburn, like I said, this one has it just they don't even know H2O. There's so little chemistry in there. It doesn't. No one feels like they fit. The person who's David, I think, would have been better as maybe sitting on the corner drunk, homeless. I don't know how he would be a quote unquote playboy. But I did say redemption. And this is where the remake does something that's far better than the original, that the original totally fluffed over. And it's probably the most crucial point in the whole movie. The thing that the movie does best is when she finds out that, it was all to get her out of the picture. In the movie, the original is just like, I have 2 tickets to Paris. You're going to take one. I'm not. Okay, then I guess I'll just go and take my time to Paris. This one, you could literally feel the gut punch when she finds out. And it is just an exceptional scene, just the way that works. At that point, then the chemistry actually locks in and it becomes something that's completely believable. But then it goes back to crap when he's like, "Oh, we got you the Concorde ticket and we're going to rush you there." And he's waiting outside her door like now he's a stalker. But I think that if you took that specific part out of the remake and plugged it into the original would be so much of a better movie. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay, so this is very obviously a remake. It's not very good. they are trying too hard to copy stuff from the original while trying to be original in places. Like they're giving this whole girl power thing. The whole thing, like talking, okay, she didn't need to go to France. Like I said, France was only to cover up Audrey's accent.
Mhm.
They could have sent this version of Sabrina. She could have gone to Cleveland. She could have gone to New York. She could have gone to Los Angeles. She could have gone to London. She could have gone to Tokyo. She could have gone to a million other places.
Yeah.
She didn't have to go to France. That's them trying too hard to copy the original. Also, this movie was too long. The first movie starred Audrey Hepburn and featured Humphrey Bogart. This movie stars Harrison Ford and features what's her name?
Exactly.
Harrison Ford seemed like he was bored to be there and would rather have been doing his taxes. Greg Kinnear was horrible. He's from this show called Talk Soup that was on the E channel at the time, and he should have stayed there. This just reminds me. I have a lot. My note here says kids playing grown up. So that's what this is to me. This is like we saw this great movie. Hey guys, let's try to make the movie again. And it's kids playing grown up. They're in their parents' clothes playing house.
Well, let me jump in. I forgot to mention something, and you brought up the point. Harrison Ford works on the Millennium Falcon. Harrison Ford does not work as a businessman behind a desk. He felt out of place as a businessman.
One of the things that Humphrey Bogart I thought did really well was when he was excited about the plastic. We got this new plastic that we're working on, and it's great. And then you go to Harrison Ford, and it's like, oh, we want you guys to get married so we can get access to their plastic. Isn't this cool? Look at this cool plastic. It's the greatest. Bueller.
It's like when that one guy on, I think it was like Conan O'Brien or something, came in with a Lego Star Wars Millennium Falcon and started asking the questions about Star Wars. And he's like, sure.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
It's like he's got this boringness to him. And in this movie, it really just shows, like, why did you even take this role? Like, remember you had the same thing to say when we were reviewing The Grudge.
Yep.
About Bill Paxton and how he seemed like he would have rather been anywhere else. He'd rather get his teeth pulled to be in this movie.
Bill Pullman.
What's that?
It's Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman, thank you. Bill Pullman. You were saying that Bill Pullman would rather have been anywhere else. That's how I felt Harrison Ford was in the movie. He'd much rather be getting his taxes done or getting his teeth pulled or getting anything done. He'd rather get his hand hammered to a piece of wood than to be doing this job right now.
Yeah.
And this girl, who I can't even remember her name unless I look at it, shows you just how much of an impression she made on me. And the only reason Greg Kinnear ever made an impression on me is because I was a fan of the show that he was doing on E, which was now would never happen because it's just be YouTube clips. But it's not a good movie.
I got excited when I saw when I was watching it. I saw the one guy. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the WNBC guy. I don't know that guy's name. I just know him as WNBC.
Paul son or other. He's in that movie.
Yeah, he was one of the servants.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you. I'd say that's the thing. That's how much I didn't really pay attention to the movie because I'm like, I watched the original. Okay, so I watched the original Sabrina last week, and then I watched it again last night to take notes. And when I say this is one of my all-time favorite movies, I am not kidding. This movie's great, in my opinion. And this monstrosity of a remake.
Mm-hmm.
If they just would have changed stuff. Okay, so I'm going to talk about something that's happening in YouTube right now. Have you ever heard of the comment section with Brett Cooper?
If you would have stopped at just the comment section, my answer would have been yes. But when you added more to it, my answer is now no.
Well, you ever heard of the show, the comment section on YouTube?
No, I haven't heard of the show, but I do know where the comment sections are located on YouTube, although that doesn't help you out much, does it?
No, it doesn't. All right, so the comment section is a show that is on YouTube, and it used to be hosted by this girl named Brett Cooper. And Brett Cooper left the show in December, and they brought in a new host. And so they brought the new host in. They changed nothing about the show. The format, the set, even the way she acts are exactly the same.
Mm.
And that's what this movie tried to do. They tried to Brett Cooper this shit. They tried to go and take they tried to remake what was already done when they should have said, oh, but keep the basic premise, but change stuff around. Like I said, don't have her go to Paris. Have her go to like Cleveland. Like I say Cleveland as a joke, but maybe Cleveland would have been great. Who knows? She could have found her heart and soul.
Send her to Detroit.
Send her to Detroit. Yes, she goes to Detroit. Make the movie where she goes to Detroit and becomes a sophisticated woman in Detroit. Not to say there aren't sophisticated women in Detroit. It's just not really known for it. The most sophisticated woman in the whole country might be from Detroit, for all I know. But
And you know she leaves like comment AI slop.
yeah, it's
Yep.
it's not as bad as Turkish Star Wars, but
We'll get to that one, I'm sure.
I'm sure we will.
All right, do you have anything more to add on this one?
Not really. Just like if you're gonna watch this, if you're gonna watch one of them, stick with the older version. It's the only one that's on Blu-ray. They never released the 1995 version. It's never been released on Blu-ray, but the 1954 version has, and that shows how much how much Paramount cares about it.
So here's what I'd recommend doing. So what you want to do is watch the original version, and about an hour and 42 minutes into it, pause the movie, bring up the new version, fast forward to about an hour and 46 minutes, play it from there for about 5 minutes, stop it, and then fast forward the other movie to about an hour and 48 minutes and continue with it.
Yeah, watch that one scene from the newer movie that almost saves it.
Exactly.
And yeah, and it has to do with the chemistry, I think, is the reason why maybe that scene didn't work for you in the original movie. Because like, yeah, the movie itself, like it's funny. It's so funny. Like there's a lot of really funny scenes in it. Like the father trying to get the olive out of the glass, or he has all the secretaries come in to stand on the piece of plastic, and then he puts David up on it and how nervous he is, and like silly stuff. Like silly stuff is funny. The way she tries to end her life, I thought was done better in the first movie.
I don't even remember her trying to end her life.
I don't know if she did in the second movie. I don't even remember what happened.
I don't think she did. So
Maybe she didn't. But in the first movie, Sabrina's depressed and she wants to go and kill herself. So she puts herself in the garage and turns all the cars on. And because she's a kid, she's 18. She's just a kid. She opens the window because she can't breathe.
That's
what she's trying to do.
in that scene where she tried to commit suicide, I actually cried for the loss of all that gasoline.
Because of that gas, it costs more.
I mean, who knows? We could run the gasoline shortage. Now we got to blame Sabrina for that one.
I know. Damn you, Sabrina. I love how people get so pissed off about her name at the end of the first movie, where it's like, Sabrina, who's Sabrina? There's that name again.
Yep.
Sabrina really, the original movie really plays as if it was a Broadway musical in a way. Not a musical, but a Broadway play. It plays a lot like a Broadway play, where there's a common music theme through the whole thing. It's that romantic theme, but they also throw in "There are no bananas today." It's like weaved in there, and that's their love theme is for the two of them.
And the remake plays like a train wreck, going down a hill on fire. Was on fire.
Everything's fine. Everything is fine. It's the dog in the burning building drinking a cup of coffee. Everything's fine.
Yep. All right, so now let's get to the next one, and we're actually going to break the rules here because are you ready for the next one, Ben?
What's the name of the next one? Because I got to pull it up.
Gothic Lolita Psycho is a 2010 Japanese film directed by Go Ohara. It stars Rina Akiyama, Rito Ayagi, Minami Sukui, Masaki Momose, Yuri Yanagi. Wow, there's a lot of them. Mashito Okamoto, Satoshi Hazuzer, and Asami I can't even, man, my brain can't even go Japanese right now. Suigera. Yuki lives with her father Zero and her mother Kayako in Tokyo. Their peaceful lives are disturbed when a group of assassins slaughtered Kayako and injured Zero. Yuki seeks revenge by dressing herself in Gothic Lolita fashion and killing off the assassins. Now, before you start, because I will give you the floor, I do want to mention that this is going to be a weird same, different, because we're not going to talk about the one that this is the same with, which is Kill Bill. Kill Bill. I want to point that out so that you know when you're listening to this, you know what to compare this to. You got the floor now.
Okay, so this was another one of those weird Japanese films that you have me watch that are kind of fun to watch though. And it's just another gore fest. In there, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that if you want to talk about comparisons to Kill Bill, like she ends up facing like another female fighter who is very similar to I think it was Go-Go was the name of the one from Kill Bill. Yeah, a lot of death, a lot of fighting. It's a fun movie. It's got the Lolita, Gothic Lolita fashion that you were talking about in one of the other movies we were talking about. What was the last one? The Vampire Girl.
Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl. Yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to remember much about it other than like it like I said, it was fun to watch. It was kind of what I expected it to be. Now that I've seen a few of these, where it's just a lot of blood, killing for the sake of killing. This one is a revenge story. So like, yeah, like this gang comes in and they murder her mother, and the father become paralyzed from the legs down, and I guess he's a priest or something. So how does he have a kid and a wife?
He becomes, it seems like he becomes a priest after. And I think that has to do with the story, because I think she's like demon possessed or something. So he becomes a priest, I guess, to kind of shield her from going demon possession or something. It's not really clear. It's probably something where you have to know the source material to really fully understand.
Yeah. It's it was, I mean, because he had religious stuff on the walls when they were getting attacked. So maybe he was like a devout Christian, and then maybe that was the thing that pushed him over the edge to become like a priest or whatever. They don't really explain it, but it's one of the things like, who really cares? This is one of the, like, even the story doesn't have to make a lot of sense. You're mostly watching it because you just want to see these amazing fight scenes and watch people like get killed.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you'll get in this.
Exactly.
So if you like Kill Bill, here's some similar films according to ChatGPT: The Machine Girl, Tokyo Gore Police, and Kill Bill.
Okay, yeah. So interesting you say that, because Tokyo Gore Police I mentioned, which was the one with the DDDDD lady, where she's like the star of the movie, and that and Audition are the ones that she's best known for. Is it The Machine Girl? I think she's in, but that's also another one of these style type movies that I've seen, but it's not as Kill Bill as this is. So neither of them are Kill Bill as this is. So, but you still got the floor if there's anything you want to add.
I wish I had more to add to it, but I like I said, I watched it a week ago, where I literally watched Lolita. You have me saying Lolita now. Sabrina.
Yeah.
I literally watched Sabrina last night, so that's still fresher in my mind. So,
okay, so what I want to say about this movie is good, it's fun, but it's interesting because it's not good until it gets good. And what I mean by that is, I think that the first two kills that she has are really letdowns in the movie. It really kind of, the movie goes by really fast. And unlike Sister Swap, you're not going to be constantly looking at the time while you're watching it. All of a sudden, the movie's going to end. You're like, oh my gosh, that was almost an hour and a half already. It goes fast, and it keeps you locked in enough that you can just soak in what you're watching. But the first two fights are pretty darn cheesy. It doesn't get good until like the middle of the second fight, where she starts flinging him around all over the place. At that point, the comedy really starts to get nailed into the movie. And after that, it's like a plane ride at that point. You're just sitting there on autopilot, and it just breezes by and then ends. And then you realize that was everything. The movie has, I will say, one of the best, if not the best, action sequences I've ever seen in any movie, period. And you probably are guessing which one it is. And that would be her versus, I think her name was Elle.
That was that was the one who like had the cell phone gun.
Yes.
Okay, can we talk about that room for a second?
Sure.
What I found interesting is they used that same room for 2 different locations. They just redressed it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I love that they do stuff like that because it's just like that shows like the ingenuity of the people putting the movie together. Like all these scenes literally could have been filmed in the same building
Yeah.
for the whole movie. And they were able to make it look like all completely different locations just by redressing the place. I mean, you could tell like where her father's sanctuary was the same room that she was having most of her fights in.
Yeah.
Like because the walls look exactly the same. You could tell it's the same room. But they still thought about redressing it. And maybe it's kind of like a nod to the audience. It's like, hey, do you notice that like we have no budget?
But I mean, that fight sequence, well, both of them, especially the second one, was just so on point because it was humorous, yet it was action packed, yet it just kept your interest.
Mm.
And the scene where they're like, you know, spinning around each other, firing and knocking each other's weapon out of the way and stuff, or there's a point where I think they're going around a pillar. I mean, it's standard stuff you see, but the way that they did it, it's just so enjoyable. And when you get to understand that all of these are definitely overblown character types, kind of like what Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl did, where you have this, you know, the stupid schoolgirl, you have the salaryman, you have the anime villain, you have the dirty old man. I mean, they took him to the extreme like Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl does, but not as far as Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl did. And you don't get much time with each character, but you get enough to establish who they are. And then the action starts and it just flies by at that point.
Yeah.
So, and I did like, and they also had the Gaijin character types as well too. The kamikaze guys, and those guys were funny.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah, the kamikaze. Now I remember. Like they were like, yeah, and they're like making sure you really know who they are, and they're big tough guys, and
it was kind of like
he beats the living shit out of every single one of them almost. Like I think one of them ends up running away.
yeah. Well, it kind of like the best way to think of them is in the U.S. is the Power Rangers. That's kind of how they acted. They're that type of character type.
Let's go Power Rangers.
Yeah, and they're all foreigners. So, and that's kind of the joke there as well too, is that whole view on what the action type is in Japan. And I like that the one guy they kept giving him different weapons, and he'd run in and just get the crap beat out of him. The guy would pick him up. He'd be like, "You gotta do it again," and send him back in again. So yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in this movie.
Yeah, no, it's a fun romp. It's one of those it's part of a whole like list of movies where it's kind of like the same thing.
You don't need to think. You just sit there and then just enjoy what you're watching.
Yeah, that's like if you miss part of the story, it's like it's pretty easy to catch up. It's a revenge story. You just like, even those guys who were talking about the kamikazes, they were trying to beat up the same guy that she was there. She literally saved the guy from getting beat up by a different group of people because she wanted to have the honor of killing him.
Exactly.
Which is, I would have I'm watching this and I'm like, why don't you just sit back and let them take care of it?
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Even if they don't kill him, like they'll weaken him up to the point and then you just go in. Like he stands a chance anyways. Like I was a nerd and here she's like, fucking superstar over here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He doesn't stand a chance against her anyway.
I like that you mentioned that she's a superstar because if you take the ending is so Batman. where she's up on the ledge and everything, and she's doing the whole. It's nighttime, and she's doing the whole. What is it? Batman. What is his saying? Night, whatever. And she comes down.
It says he goes up there and he says, "Night, whatever."
Night, whatever. Yeah. So and then you have her in the hallway fighting those guys, and it felt like that. It felt like a kung fu movie, but it also felt like that 1950s Batman show where they're beating up.
No, 1960s, but yeah.
1960s. Yeah. It felt like that all together. And it's like she's a female version of Batman at this point. And it did that well at the end.
I have that show.
Nice.
I think I have the whole run, dude. I'm like a huge Batman guy. I have like all this Batman stuff. Yeah, like I said, these are fun movies. No, I used to like get worried when you send them to me. Now you send them to me, and I'm like, I know what this is gonna be.
Yes. So
I did end up watching. Did I send it to you? The fight scene from Kill Bill. No, I used it when we were talking about last the Vampire Girl one. I used a clip from that, and then I had it in color. And TikTok gave me a warning about it because there was too much blood in that review. So I had to actually take every scene that had blood in it and make it black and white.
Gotcha.
Which I hate. I always forget about that on TikTok. They get this very, very, very strict blood rule.
Well, I will close out this movie with saying one thing. I will never look at spaghetti the same way again. That the spaghetti has to be the most disgusting part about this movie.
You know, like when a guy is at the club and he's just eating the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of like I know slurping is acceptable in Asia, and now I slurp when I eat my pasta now because I'm like, well, you know, if you don't care, I mean, like in Asia, if it's okay there, I think it's okay. They eat more pasta than we do.
It's the spaghetti close-up spaghetti eating and smoking together. It's just it's the most unsettling thing in the movie.
Yeah, I don't understand how people were able to do that. I knew people who could do that too, where they're like smoking, eating, and drinking a cup of coffee all at the same time, and I'm like, aren't you worried about getting one mixed in with the other? You know, I mean, I guess they're all going to the same place anyways, but do you really want ashes in your food? I mean, you do you, man. If that's what you want.
Watashi no Baiku. Watashi no Baiku. Sorry, that's gotta go with the kamikaze guys right there.
Yeah, they were they were pretty much this movie's version of the Crazy 88s. That was the closest to a Crazy 88s fight where and she's just like, and also they keep sending the guys to her, and then they keep getting kicked back, but you only see them watching the fight. You don't actually see the fight happen.
Yeah, that
was great because you don't know she could be doing anything to them. Who knows?
Yeah.
I leave stuff up to the imagination.
Yeah.
Which again shows, and that's one of the things I did notice. As soon as I noticed that they redressed that one room, I started looking at how are they saving money in this movie.
Yeah,
and that was one of the ways they saved money. They cut every corner they could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and but they, you know, they did a good job, and you get what you expect out of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think that Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl was better.
Yes, and I agree too.
Yeah. But not to say this was bad. It was a fun rom. But yeah.
All right.
It wasn't Sabrina.
It definitely was. And you know what? I think she could take Sabrina if Sabrina ever killed her mother again.
I don't think Audrey Hepburn would ever win in a fight with anybody. She was like 90 pounds soaking wet.
So here's the $1 million question. Who would win in a fight? Gothic Lolita Psycho Girl or Vampire Girl?
Ooh. That would be a good fight.
That'd be a good crossover, wouldn't it?
Well, isn't Vampire Girl, isn't she technically already dead with the fact that she's a vampire?
Yeah, but you can still kill her again.
But Lolita Girl is a human being. As good as she is.
No, she's a demon, remember?
Is she a demon? Oh, that's right, because she had that necklace.
Yes.
And the necklace made her a demon. And they kind of hint at it, but you really don't see it till the end of the movie. Yeah, she had that umbrella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A funky umbrella. And that thing was like, that was pretty cool.
And Vampire Girl, her cape couldn't even stop the was it the nails? So it's not going to stop the bullets.
Yeah.
Gothic.
I mean, how do you kill Vampire Girl? Is it with silver?
I don't know. Sunlight? I don't know. No,
Silver. It's always silver though. You ever noticed that?
so that would be an awesome movie. Gothic Lolita Psycho versus Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl returned.
Versus who else can we throw in there?
Versus Audition Girl.
Versus the girl from Audition, yes. Where she drugs them all up first, and then she starts cutting them, and as she's cutting one of them, like one of them wakes up.
Well, I mean that doesn't matter for Frankenstein Girl. Frankenstein Girl's already been cut up.
Yeah, she's already coming to pieces.
So basically, if you go by that, Audition Girl would win unless Frankenstein Girl was involved, and then Audition Girl would kill off all the others, and the Frankenstein Girl would be like, my parts are already separated, and then kill Audition Girl. That's a deep thought right there. You heard it first on the BM show.
Well, I'm no longer reaching for the moon, Father. The moon's reaching for me. That was a power line on her part. That's when she realized that David liked her. She was like, he's...
So what you're getting across at this point is Gothic Lolita Psycho Girl versus Vampire Girl versus Audition Girl versus Frankenstein Girl versus Sabrina.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
She'll die like almost instantly because, like I said, she's 90 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah. No, she's actually, Sabrina Girl actually has a chance. I love that I just call her Sabrina Girl.
Sabrina Girl. Dun, 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 dun.
Sabrina Girl actually has a chance because what she could do is she could lure them in. Oh, this might not work for Frankenstein Girl, but she would lure them into the garage, turn on all the cars until all of them suffocate, and then she opens up the window to save herself. But then Frankenstein Girl has the lungs from the grudge director teacher that lets her breathe out exhaust anyway. So Frankenstein Girl still wins.
Yes, you had all that Chinese smoke.
Yeah, okay.
That was a crazy movie. That was such a crazy movie. Yeah, so that's our recommendations. Watch the original Sabrina and watch Vampire Girl. Even though we talked about it like 2 weeks ago, but
Again, it'll change your life.
it's a very gory movie, but it's fun. Are we just about done here?
I think we're just about done. So, do you have any last words?